Hey, welcome back, Rotary Swing golfers, to this week's tour analysis. I'm your instructor, Chris Tyler, and this week we have back on the block Adam Scott, who just picked up his second victory of the year, back-to-back fashion at Doral at the WGC, so congratulations to Adam. This week we're going to be focusing in on one key move for consistency and two key moves for speed, and you might be shocked when I start talking about ball position. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we see Adam Scott catching fire this season, picking up his second victory of the year at the WGC this past weekend, so congratulations to him. And I was going through his stats this morning, and I was looking at his driving stats from his distances versus his accuracy, and was really surprised to see how poor he's done in the accuracy department off the tee since 2003 all the way up to 2016. I think the best I saw him finish was right around 2014. He was 80th on the PGA Tour in accuracy. Where he was all the way up to 174th, up to 185th at one point. But you can always see on the flip side of that he's way up there in distance, and that's obviously become a big factor in the PGA Tour, is being able to hit the golf ball a long, long ways. He's been as good as fourth and been as high as 37th over that time frame from 2003 to 2016. So, distance does help out, but even more so on the flip side of that, I was looking at his greens and regulation percentage, and that's pretty impressive. So I'm going to show you guys what is the key for him hitting a lot of greens and what's the key for him generating a lot of speed in his golf swing. So let's go ahead and take a look at things here, both face on with an iron swing and a driver swing. And this is the one question that we get asked all the time, and that's ball position. Ball position, ball position, ball position. Where is it supposed to be? We've heard for years people talk about the ball position should be in the middle of our stance. The ball should be underneath our sternum. And then progressively we move it forward with the flatter of the golf club. Adam Scott has got this figured out, and he's one of many players now that have it figured out, is that the ball position should be off of the left ear, regardless if it's a 3-iron or if it's a driver. If we're swinging in a stock shot format, we want to make sure the ball position stays exactly in the same area. Okay, there are some other adjustments. In some cases, we will tell you to move the ball forward with a driver, but if you're swinging a stock shot, meaning you're making just a full swing, whether it be a 7-iron or just a full driver swing, and you're not trying to add anything sort of special to the move where you're trying to flight it higher or flight it lower, you're just trying to make a stock swing, you want the ball position to remain constant. And I've got a great article that will start to uncover a lot of the myths about this. And that article is called The Surprising Facts About Ball Position and Its Effects. So take a look at that article. It'll be underneath the video player on the website. If you're on the YouTube channel, it'll be underneath in the description below. So definitely take a look at that article. And we go through a lot of the sciences behind where the bottom of the swing arc is and why it is where it is. So really critical for you guys to understand that ball position needs to remain constant from one club to the next. All right, so there is an adjustment, though, that Adam made in his golf swing, and you can see that he's gone to a little bit wider of a base over here with a driver swing. Now, this wider base is going to promote two things. It's going to promote stability, number one, because we're going to be creating a lot more momentum and a lot more inertia, so we need to have a little bit more stable base. And number two, it's also going to promote what we call secondary axis tilt. And let's talk a little bit about what secondary axis tilt is. So you can see at the address position here, this is the tilt that the spine is on. Okay, this is really critical for amateur golfers to make sure that you have axis tilt at the address position. Now, when we get down into the hitting area, what we're going to be looking for with an iron swing is we're going to be looking for this angle to increase just slightly to where it would be just outside the lead knee. Because if you were to shift your pelvis and keep your head really quiet right from a static address position, you would notice that tilt would start to increase. With a driver swing, we want to have this tilt increased pretty drastically. Now, what that secondary axis tilt is going to do is it's going to help shallow the golf swing out. It's going to help create more of an ascending blow rather than a descending blow. So you're going to see that the differences between these two golf swings is not ball position. It's just a little bit of a widened stance here, which is going to help promote more stability, and it's going to help promote more secondary axis tilt. So let's go ahead and take a look at what the impact positions look like so you can see what I'm talking about here. So here we are down at the bottom. This is pretty much textbook as far as impact positions are concerned. So if you really want to become a great ball striker, this is a great impact position to mirror here. And what we're looking for is we want to have the lead shoulder, the lead hip socket, and the lead knee, and the lead ankle right on top of each other. And he's done a remarkable job about getting that into a perfect spot here. Okay, so now going back to that secondary axis tilt that I was talking about, you can see here that he has increased it to where it's just pointed outside of his lead knee. Very, very good looking impact position. You can see that the position of his lead wrist is flat, maybe even slightly a little bit bowed here, might be trying to flight it down. But you can definitely see that the lead side of his body is nice and stacked, and the tilt to his spine is just outside of his lead knee. So pretty much textbook here. Now, as far as the driver swing is concerned, because we're promoting with the width of our stance, we're promoting more secondary axis tilt, you're going to see that the lead shoulder doesn't get quite stacked up on top of the lead ankle here. So if I were to draw that same line straight up, you're going to see that the lead shoulder's hung back quite a bit here. Notice the difference in the spine tilt too. So this is where he's shallowed his golf swing out and he's created more of an ascending blow rather than a descending blow, which a lot of these modern day drivers, all of these modern day drivers, are set up for very high launch conditions and very low ball spin. So if you want to start to add more speed to your golf swing, do it by not changing anything drastically in your move. You want to still stay in balance. You want to make sure, and Adam actually talked about this before as well. He says when he's trying to get the golf ball to go further off of the tee, he's really working to maintain as much balance in his golf swing as possible and work to a finish position, not swinging all over the place. So I'd encourage you to make sure that you just widen your base just a little bit, keep your ball position the same. Don't try to overdo things at first. Still continue to work on your movements within the body as you were with a 7-iron or an 8-iron. And then in turn, make sure that you have a good release, and you'll see that you'll start to have tons of speed in it and tons of control. And then as far as getting your lead side stacked up, make sure that you understand where you're going first. Impact Alignment's face-on video is a perfect, clear picture or clear map for you to be able to see, okay, this is what my impact position needs to look like. And then get yourself an impact bag and slowly start to work from the top of your swing down, shifting your weight into your lead side, making sure that your body line, your left side of your body looks nice and stacked up and you've got proper secondary axis tilt, and I guarantee that you'll become a better ball striker this season. Okay guys, thanks again for tuning in to this week's edition of the Tour Analysis. Again, I'm your instructor, Chris Tyler, and I want to let you know that I've got a great bonus video for you guys today that's going to talk a little bit about ball position. And if you want to see that video in its entirety, then go ahead and click the link in the description below, or you can click on the video at the end. That'll take you over to the website where you can sign up for a free membership, watch that video in its entirety, no questions asked. Also, do me a favor, if you like this video, go ahead and click the like button below. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to post those up and I'll help you out as best I can. Also, do me a favor and remember to subscribe to our channel. That way you get notifications anytime we put out any of our newest content. Let's get out there, let's play some great golf.
Flaw that we see in all the lessons I've ever given, thousands and thousands of lessons, hands down the most common fault that we see it set up with the ball position is having it too far back in your stance. This happens out of the subconscious fear to make sure that we can make the contact. If you hit a couple fat ones, you start moving the ball further and further back, and then what you end up is in this never-ending cycle that as you hit a fat shot, you move the ball further back in your stance. It makes your swing faults worse. You shift your weight less, because if you shifted your weight properly, you'd top the ball, and your divot would start out of here. You'd miss the ball completely. So what happens is you start all